Stevie Redstone.
Yes, sir.
How are you, man?
I'm great. It's been an active last, 10 days or so.
Yeah. Been busy. Yeah. I mean, Rolling with the Thunder, what an instant smash hit.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're getting some radio play already. We were the
Artist of the Week?
yeah, on Lighting 100, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
On the week of the release, so that was, appreciate that very much, and it's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People have been posting about it, our community.
Yeah, I think so. We're getting some love and some shares, which we really appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's for a variety of reasons, Stevie. I mean, first of all, the songwriting is phenomenal. You wrote it with good butter and Tasjan.
I did, yeah. Him and another wonderful songwriter named Connor McLaren. Yeah.
That's right.
It was funny. Connor was at Aaron's house on a day that we had a write scheduled, and he's like, "Come on down, my friend Connor's here. Let's do this." And I was like, "Great." It just happened. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's great, man. How was it writing with Aaron?
I mean, it's wonderful. Like, he is I don't have to tell you, like, spectacular talent, and he was a guy that I admired from afar for many years.
Yeah.
And then I covered one of his songs on Instagram during the pandemic, and he saw it and like replied and followed me, and then he's caught wind of me moving here and reached out, and he's like, "Do you want to write a song?" And I was like, "Yes." I mean, he's one of my like modern songwriting heroes, and to get in a room with him, it's amazing and fascinating. Like, I kind of have to labor over my lines when I'm writing, and he just like kind of can close his eyes and just spit out like full verses that are like perfect, and I'm just like amazed. I need to like kind of tinker and think about it and bounce stuff off the walls or whatever, and he's just like, "How about this?" And I was like, "That's amazing." That's perfect. Yeah, so it's been great, and I think we've got some of the same influences, and it's just been a good pairing. We wrote like, I don't know, 6 or 7 songs together, and
I think so.
Yeah, and now that finally releasing music, so I've got a little more time to like get back to the writing side of it. I hope to write more with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has your writing evolved since you moved to Nashville?
I mean, I like to think so. I like to think we're always getting a little better. I hope that doesn't sound arrogant, but
Yeah.
And I'm collaborating with wonderful people here, so that helps too, getting different perspective.
Why is there like in LA or other musical cities,
Mm-hmm.
New York, a little bit Miami? Why is that songwriting element not in there? That songwriting culture.
In those cities?
Yeah, or why is it? You need to ask this question.
I don't know. I mean, maybe like honestly, it might be a geographical like / traffic thing.
Sure.
And also there's just like such a concentration of talent here, and I guess that just attracts more talent and more people who come here to do that thing, and and plus like if you, as you know, I'm in LA, I'm born and raised LA, and if you live in like Santa Monica or something, and your buddy or someone you want to write with is in Eagle Rock, you got to plan your whole week around it.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
I don't know, it could contribute, but I mean, for whatever reason, like a lot of really, really talented people are here in town, and it's like, you want to go write with Aaron Lee? It's like, okay, I'll be there in like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, when you moved to town, Stevie, it was such welcomed and such a breath of fresh air, man. It was like, I don't know, man. It was just like, I don't know. It was phenomenal to have you here. Like, we needed color. We needed that crunch.
Right.
So I think that's one of the many reasons why everyone loves you here.
I appreciate that.
But speaking about Rolling with the Thunder still.
Yeah, it's roll with the Thunder.
With
Thunder.
Apologies.
No worries. You're not the first person who's done it.
One of the reasons why I think it resonated so much, not only is it sonically fucking awesome, I mean, I was dancing to it the past couple of days, but it has some depth to it, obviously. And I love the message of resilience, because that's what life is. To me, at least, life is about overcoming challenges and growing.
Every day. Yeah.
Every day.
And over the years.
I mean, the people that think that their life shouldn't have problems, those are the people that are all, you gotta rewire yourself, basically.
Sure. Yeah.
But, you've accomplished so much, Stevie, in your musical career, and also your personal, you have a beautiful family and stuff. But I know that there's been stuff that you've overcome all the time. Where does that fortitude came from? Did it come from your parents? Did it come from from your upbringing, that kind of mindset that life doesn't happen to me, it happens for me.
Right. Yeah, I would say my parents, my family, and getting my head kicked in by the music business for a long time and sticking with it, and just life in general, I found that in general it's not that easy, and I guess just a combination of those things and like whoever I am, I don't know, innately as a person, but I'm up for the challenges and yeah, I don't know.
Do you come back to gratitude? Is it like to your family?
Yes, definitely gratitude, and that's something I'm focusing on like more and more these days, is like reminding myself to be grateful for all the wonderful things that I do have as I'm facing adversity and challenges.
Right.
And just like putting things into perspective, like having a tough day or a tough moment or whatever, just like step back from that for a minute and be like, listen, by and large, everything is great.
Sure.
I have a roof over my head. I have a wonderful family, a beautiful, wonderful, supportive wife, and 2 babies that smile at me and give me a hug when I get home. And
that's gotta be the best.
That's what life's about. The rest of the stuff, those are challenges and you work through them or whatever. But I think the more we talked about this, I remember when we first were hanging out and we met. That focus on gratitude, and I think. Yeah. It's so important that, and it just keeping that perspective, about what matters the most,
Absolutely.
And everything else is a moment in time that you work through and get past,
Well, you mentioned parenthood, and I was listening to Shot in the Dark earlier, and just kind of thinking how you've changed, probably not only artistically but as a human. Enlighten me, because obviously I don't know. When you become a father, how does that change or not change, like all your creative, artistic juices? Like how do they evolve?
Interesting question.
Maybe they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be just totally transparent. Like, I don't know if it necessarily changed anything in the way that like I approach the art per se, like the writing. I've written like a few songs for my kids, so I guess there's that. But I don't know, I'd be curious to see what other parents think. But one thing is for sure, like a time management thing comes into it.
Okay.
Like,
sure.
So there's definitely that. It's like, writing songs when they're like taking naps or at their daycares or whatever, because you've got to, figure out that side of it. But I don't know, like, I don't know if I had a real shift in like the actual approach to the writing and the art.
Perfect.
When they were born. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah. And you've had a really storied career. Like you really have done a lot, Stevie. And for my audience that may not know, you've played with the Who at the Staples Center. You've played at MSG Theater with Elvis Costello in New York. Just top of mind, this is coming to me.
Yeah.
Share with us a little bit about like when you look back at that. Is there a little bit of because I know a lot of people, myself included, like I'll give you an example. Like when I cover like the Grammys or something, I'm always like, oh my God, I like imposter syndrome. Am I gonna get back here again? Like weird fucking thoughts like that come here.
Oh yeah.
Do you get shit like all the time? Do you get shit like that? Like you've played with the Who. Like how do you look back on that?
Oh, I mean that night was amazing and just an incredible experience. But yeah, I deal with imposter syndrome all the time. It's like I have these moments of victories that I try to like savor and enjoy. But yeah, most of the time I'm like, do I really belong here? Do I, because I compare myself to my idols a lot, which is not a healthy thing to do, but I do that. And yeah, so that's another thing I'm working on too, is like trying to, develop this like confidence that I do belong, and that I've done some cool things and made stuff that I'm really proud of. But yeah, that's a battle for me and probably for many artists. I've heard of big artists who played at huge crowds consistently and they still deal with this thing, So yeah, it's strange.
Yeah,
I wonder what that's about.
It's part of human nature, but
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, but yeah, and especially you were so established in LA. Yeah. And taking that jump to Nashville, that required balls.
I think so. Yeah, like I had been coming here for a long time to write and pass through town recording, and I like to say I always threatened to move here, and if it wasn't for the pandemic, I probably would have come a little earlier. But yeah, like, and we just had a 1-year-old kid at the time, so we came here with a 1-year-old and my cat Koufax, and yeah, Koufax. I'm a big Dodger fan, as we've talked about, so that's where my cat's name comes from, after Sandy Koufax. And yeah, it took some gumption, I suppose, but you know, it was exciting and something I kind of wanted to do for a long time, and I was able to make that work. So, and it's been great. I mean, productive and certainly fun, and running into like you said, you know, Aaron Lee, like effectively running into your heroes on the street here.
It's pretty, yeah, you become friends with them, which is like wild.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so many new people, like, you know, Paul McDonald types, like people I didn't know much about before I came here, and it's been great. Nashville's been very, very good to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you also learned about maybe like crappy sides of the music industry while being here, or like maybe like I'll give you an example, like I don't know, like women representation in radio, like maybe seeing a little bit of like not everything is gold in Nashville. You've experienced that yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And I on the like, I don't want to sound like too much of like a shit talker, but like, can we cuss, by the way? Is this?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for asking. So
sure. Yeah, it is a podcast, right? Yeah, like the sort of like on the management booking agency side of things, I've gotten a little like kind of talking out of both sides of your mouth sort of stuff in the seeking representation side of things. You know, people who would come to my shows and have coffee with me multiple times and can't say enough about how great the music is and great the show is, and then I'm like, okay, well, do you want to work together? And it's like, keep doing what you're doing, kid, and you know, come back to me when your TikTok blows up and all this shit. And it's like, so there's some of that's been frustrating, not ideal.
Yeah, that agent thing always intrigues me, Stevie.
Yeah,
because I have a few agent friends, and sometimes they'll text me some stupid like text that I almost want to tell them one day. That sounds like so stupid. Like they'll be like, hey, I need someone to open for X, but they gotta be able to sell 70 tickets, you know. And then, you know, I'll give them someone, and they're like, no, too full, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck you're like looking for, dude.
Right.
You know, so I'm sure that's a little bit of what you're talking about, like like what is it that an agent looks
for sure. And look, I understand that these people are, this is their gig, this is what they do for a living, and you know, it's more of there's more of an effort, I guess, on their part to help build someone's career versus somebody who's kind of already crushing it on their own, and then they pluck them and they add fuel to that fire. But I'm hoping there's got to be some champions who got into this because of the love for the music, and if they see something that really wows them,
which is you.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Every time I see you, and a few times has been funny because I come like midway through your set, or like you just started playing, and it's like coming into like an exploding sun. it's like oh shit. It's like I did not bring my fucking like my goggles for the fucking you know.
It's so funny.
100%.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you know, with no ego, I say I've always felt pretty confident about the live show. I think it's fun and powerful and whatever. And yeah, like I said, I've had these people come to the shows and follow up and can't say enough about how great it was, and I'm like, okay, well, what's next, bro? You know. But I think I'm excited about the prospect of releasing this new music and starting this new project, and
tell me about that. I mean,
we'll see what kind of the universe brings us.
And it'll bring beautiful things.
I think so.
So
I love you're always so positive, I have to say.
Well,
which I love, and I don't think it's like fake at all. Like you're very...
it's not, you know, it's not being like, you know, for my audio audience that may not be watching, I'm like 5'4". I can't be like, I'm tall. You know, it's like, no, that's fucking bullshit. There has to be some fucking like beautiful protein to it, like, or else, you know, so it's not here. Yeah.
Right.
So I imagine you have like 2 or 3 singles lined up, and you have kind of like.
Well, I've got the record in the can, the full record in the can. Yeah.
By Dave Cobb.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that was.
So you have a nice history with.
I do, and that was wonderful to work with him, and yeah, really excited about. Yeah, that was the thing. Like people ask how that came about. Well, it's because I knew him and I worked with him a little before he exploded onto the scene and became the sort of Dave Cobb. I was gonna say household name, and but yeah, so we've got the full record in the can, and the plan for now is to release these first 2 singles and see what I can kind of get working on my own.
Well, man, you got a lot going on, and certainly appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, but super excited. Like I'm thrilled that that you're in my circle, and that you're such a great guy, and a great freaking artist, dude. What a freaking great artist you are, dude. You're a party. You change people's state. And when you change people's state, you change people's thoughts, and you change their emotions, and then you change their actions. So that you're helping people change the world.
Wow, be still my heart.
It's true, brother. It's true, man. So, man, seriously, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for your time here.
Yeah.
And we can't wait for a beautiful 2024 ahead for you, brother.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.